The start of Parkside Church Lake County was back in September 2011. Parkside Church Bainbridge allowed me the opportunity to step away from my responsibilities for the purpose of starting a church plant that bore Parkside Church's name. And I felt like from the very beginning of my time at Parkside that God had really been molding and shaping my ministry experiences for this opportunity. And it's kind of easy when you look back in hindsight. You can see how starting new ministries and initiatives, how all that kind of started to work together. So in 2011, in September, I got together with a couple of people that I had had some ministry correspondence with through Transit, which was a young adult ministry. So there were several people that we just started praying together, Arabica and Willoughby. And they had very little idea of what it meant to start a church, and I did too. And we just prayed, and we started to have other people come around and move from the front table at the Arabica and Willoughby to the back room, and there was maybe about 6 or 10 of us, and we started to read through the book of Acts together and just make observations and to pray for a lot of our unbelieving friends, neighbors, and family members that were in our circles. And that became really part of what I think the hallmark of the church was, which really was to glorify God by helping people become committed followers of Jesus Christ. And so really it was about us growing in our faith, but then really the overflow of our faith really impacting people around us who needed to know who Jesus was. And so we started reading the Bible together and thinking and praying, and we did some interest meetings in December of 2011. And a lot more people came out to those interest meetings, and we were all kind of surprised at the level of the turnout. And from those interest meetings, we started then going in to meet at a house. Joe Bonanno opened up his house. And the great part about Joe's house was it was unfinished. There was whole rooms that had yet to be worked out, and we were playing ping pong in one of those rooms, and reading the Bible and praying for our friends and neighbors. And as we read through the Bible, it just became apparent to us that the Bible had to be at the center, and really a desire for outreach had to be a main hallmark of the church. And so it was exciting really to see how the church started to grow in the people. And it wasn't necessarily about a building. It wasn't necessarily about a program. It was just people recognizing that they want to grow in Christ, learn the Bible, and take it out to their friends and neighbors. We started to meet more formally at Maple Grove Alliance Church in February of 2012. We called these the core team gatherings, the CTGs, and these were more organized meetings where anybody could come. But as they came on those Sunday evenings at 5, they knew that we were going to read the Bible together, study the book of Acts. We were going to pray for people in our circles. And then we were going to start to think through the organizing principles of the church and really some of the main values. And that gave people the opportunity to ask questions, to think about what the church was about, and then gave us the opportunity to help people get more specifically involved. And that was involving children. It was involving midweek kinds of things, and then obviously Sunday mornings. We launched the church in September of 2012 after several months of meeting there at Maple Grove Alliance, and we found a great spot in Lakeland College. Lakeland was really fantastic in helping us out, and so we've been meeting at Lakeland now for about 2.5 years, and they've been great hosts for us, and we've seen the church continue to grow, and more importantly, we've seen people in their faith, I think, start to grow. And that, to me, is the most exciting part as a pastor, watching the people really take hold of what God has called them to and watch them work through different experiences in their life and grow in their faith with Christ. So that's really the history of where we are today.